You've heard about Tonex, you've heard about Amplitube, and you've heard about using them both together.
But is it really worth it?
Today, my friend, we're gonna figure it out together. I'm Jorge Lances, and now we break it down, baby. Alright, my friend, thank you so much for being here today. And again, we're talking about Tonex into Amplitube. A lot of friends have asked about my thoughts in this matter, and so I felt that today we should just do the experiment and try to figure out if actually Tonex brings something new to the table when you use it with Amplitube, or maybe we find a hidden use. Let's go figure it out. Okay, so here we are in Amplitude 5, and this is my regular template. I already did a video on it, and you can go check it out. I'm gonna put it in the description below, so it's easier for you to find later. Or if I remember, I'll put it in the cards at the end, so you can actually just click it and go right after this one.
Technology working wonders to connect us
and give you the content that you need, my friend. Make sure you like and subscribe. Don't be a buzz killer. Alright, let's go. Okay, so like I was saying, I already did a video, but I'm gonna do a little bit of a run through really quick. First and foremost, I have just a simple gate system. I have a couple compressors. This one stays on all the time, and this is just a 670. Copy the settings if you want them. And then I have this 1176 that I only use when I need that extra push, a little bit of extra oomph. Maybe I plug in a guitar that sounds like very vintage, very low whine, so I need a little bit of an extra boost. Or maybe I just need a little bit of extra spank when I'm doing a little bit of like a funky pass or something like that. I have it right there, off but ready. Then right after that, I have a chain of a couple overdrives. Lately, I've been really loving this Deluxe Pinnacle by Wampler. In my opinion, everything I really need to have. It does have its own sound, and if you like it, you like it, and if you don't, I'm sorry. But as a tool, this kind of overdrive really helps you unlock very different kinds of tones. Let's say if you only have one guitar, this guy can be the secret tool that's gonna get you to sound the way you want to. So maybe you want to check it out. And then of course I have like a tube screamer because you need a tube screamer, and you know, you grow to love them, honestly. And this is a pretty okay sounding tube screamer. Maybe it's a little bit dark and a little bit less honky, a little bit more polite than a regular tube screamer. Really, a tube screamer, or just your idea what a tube screamer is? Yeah, maybe my idea. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. What matters is that in my head, a tube screamer has a sound, and this is not exactly it, but it's good enough. So of course I have it in my chain forever. And then this is like a sort of like a more of like a clean boost, low cut, a little bit of aggression in the mid-range kind of scenario. I use it more like a compressor, but like a very full of character compressor. As soon as I put it on, it's like it activates the tone. It just feels better. Mid-range is a little bit more crowded, and you just feel nice when you play. Okay, moving on, then we have an amp. That it can be the amp, whatever amp you want. And that's why I like this preset, because I know that I just changed the amp and I can hear whatever the amp is doing, knowing that everything that happens before and after, it sounds that I already vetted and that I already like. So no surprises there. I'm only gonna be surprised by the amp. And if I need to change anything, I'll do it accordingly, right? Whatever, we're wasting so much time. Then of course I have a little bit of delay and reverb. Then the cabinet that came with it, and as you can see, I have it unlocked because when we start doing things on Tonex, we're probably gonna have to use different kind of cabinets. And then moving on, we have a little bit of an EQ, blah blah blah, a little bit of saturation. Enough of that, my friend. Let's stop the talking, get to the rocking, and grab a guitar. Today we're gonna be using my PRS SE Custom 2408 because I try to remove all the variables and things that I don't really know every time I'm trying to do something new and try something new. And this right here, my friend, is the guitar I trust the most. Is this thing becoming my number one? What? Do you have a number one? Let me know in the comments, my friend. And while you're there, remember to like, subscribe, and do all those cool little things that we like to do on YouTube. And enjoy this little bossa nova, my friend. I hope you're having a great day, and then it keeps getting better and better. All right, let's keep going. All right, so here we are. I didn't tune because I'm evil. That's the tone that we have to begin with. Pretty nice, I'm gonna say. This little Vox model sounds really good to me. Alright, but let's start doing what we came here to do, and let's explore Tonex. Okay, so first and foremost, the thing that I want to say, maybe the use that I think about Tonex, since we have the hardware and their little pedals, I want to use pedals with it. So let's use a few. And wait. As a disclaimer, I want to say I only have Tonex SE, my friend. So I don't have all the packages that might come with this. But at least there's a few pedals that we can try. So let's do it. Okay, so let's go right here in our Stomp section. And we're going to put it maybe right here after my Wampler. Let's go all the way up where Tonex things live. And let's put it right here. As you can see, it loaded like some sort of like a tube screamer. Let's hear how it sounds. Like way louder, right? Let's turn it down a little bit and see if it gets better. It's just like very pushed, huh? Let's try to turn it down a little bit, maybe to something more manageable. Okay, now let's turn it up. Let's just fast forward to this setting. It added a little bit of like a lo-fi quality, right? Which I think it's pretty okay. Let's compare it with the regular Amplitube one. But first, let's match the settings. Okay, the first thing that we're going to learn is that the gain structures are totally different. Granted, we know that the Tonex things is just like a little preset or like a particular setting, and you don't really have that much latitude. And this is what we mean with latitude. All that extra headroom that the regular pedal has, we don't have it on Tonex, but at least we have a great sounding setting, right? So let's try to back it down a little bit to a more sensible level and see what's happened. So as you can hear back to back, there's a pretty different sound, right? Like the regular Amplitube one is very warm, like I was saying. And this is pretty honky. Which one sounds more like a tube screamer for you? Let me know in the comments. But let's check another setting and go here to edit. And as you can see, this was the tube screamer bright mid. But they have another one called dark high. Much closer to what it was, right? Let's try to do a quick little ghetto comparison really quick. Let's get out of this. Amplitube first, Tonex after. Let me know in that comparison which one wins in your book. So far, I think I like this a lot. Alright, let's check what else we have in Tonex here. Let's go all the way to the top, and we have a little bit of a fuzz. Let's hear it. I don't hear no fuzz. Oh, it kept the same settings that I have for the tube screamer. So let's just try to go to trusty 12 o'clock. That's a pretty nice sound. Even though it didn't sound like a fuzz to me, it's a great sound. I want to turn down my pickups and see what happens. It gives you like this extra presence, right? A little bit of more like a percussive element too. So that right there, my friend, it's a nice little pedal that I would love to add to my Amplitube 5, and I already did. Cool, now let's see what else I have. Mid boost. Now that's a fuzz. That's a nice sounding fuzz. A little bit too much breakup, but let's see what happens in our bridge pickup. A lot of times fuzzes don't really take low end as good as some other pedals, so always try your bridge pickup. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Fuzz mid cut. See what happens. Right, let's go to the next one. Anyway, that's a beautiful sounding fuzz. Let's go to the next pedal, and this is saying always right. Sensap RBI. Let's go to see here. It sounds like an acoustifier, huh? A little bit too strident for my taste. Let's see. So I don't know about always right. Let's see the next one. Okay, and T-Rex Molar. Let's hear it. I really like the way it's activating the amp, right? Let's hear it, and let's hear it with the humbucker. It's really nice sounding, huh? Let's see if they use the exact same interface. A little bit different. That's pretty cool that they have the different ones. Okay, let's check the next preset. Okay, so I feel like in a sense, yeah, it does make sense to have it with Amplitube because at least we get these pedals, right? And if you have the max version,
all those extra pedals.
And I want to say that most of these settings sound pretty good. So if you don't even have the urge to tweak stuff, maybe you don't even need this. In my case, I still like to have the real pedal. Nah, I'm going to keep complaining about that. I just like models. All right, let's just keep moving on with the next phase, and we're going to try to see what happens with the amps. Okay, we're using this like great like XC30 kind of sounding amp, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go all the way up here to our Tonex models. We're going to change this, and we're going to go to see an AC30 model that I have that I like and that I already favorited because I was playing the other day and that was like my favorite setting. Let's hear it. It's not really bad per se, but I can already feel that there's something not really working with it. To begin with, the volume is so different, right? Let's try to check it with the actual IR that they ship with this amp. Okay, so let's go right here to the bottom in our cabinet section. And right here, we're gonna go to custom IR. And of course, I already have it set up. And I have this little high cut, but you don't really need it. So let's just, for the sake of this right now, let's take it off. But I encourage you to experiment with that because that's going to give you like a different kind of sense of how the amp sounds. A lot of times, like everything past 6K sounds just like fizz and not just brightness. So maybe if you want brightness, just turn your EQ up, and cutting this sound here might be a good solution for you. If not, just use it the way it is, whatever. I'm not here to tell you what to do.
Let's just check out how it sounds.
Okay, so with the custom IR, it sounds like this. Definitely a big difference, especially like in the way it handles the transients, right? Even when I hear the humbucker, it sounds a lot better. Again, let's try to see if we can compare it. I'm already regretting this. So there's a good reason to use the IR that it ships with, right? Again, these all make sense because these are not models of the amps. These are presets. So when you try to change something after the fact, it's not going to work exactly the way you expected it, right? So even when you try to compare an AC30 versus another AC30, unless they are exactly the same amp, captured the exact same way and modeled the exact same way that they did the captures, it's never really going to work the exact same way. So you're always going to have to expect to tweak, which again, I'm not against, but there's something about just having the amp. Right now that we have the right IR and everything, let's hear how it sounds. And I wonder how it's handling this, that it happens before the IR. It's handling it very well. So definitely the best way to use it is with its own custom IR. And I think it sounds really good. That's a great model. And if you can use everything else in between that you could use in Amplitube, then that's a great addition to the Amplitube collection. But I must add that when the collection has the cabinet and the amp, I don't know if this is going to work the same way, but that might be for a different episode. What I want to try right now is using a regular IR cab, the one that comes with Amplitube, just so that we can actually tweak the microphones and see what happens. Okay, so the first step is like check the volume, because I feel like we don't have all the gain, and of course we have it at -6. Let's turn it all the way up to 0 and see how that sounds. Not bad at all. It sounds pretty good. Okay, now let's see how it works if we change the microphone. Let's go to the most apparent change. That right there, my friend, is where I strike gold, because this is what I like to do. Use the amp and then even manipulate my microphone. That's exactly what I want. Very different tone from what I was expecting. Actually, they don't work exactly the same. But even if it doesn't, it's still enough of a difference that you can actually use these kind of tools to manipulate your tone. So in my opinion, if let's say you just get amps and you don't use their IRs, you're golden, my friend. You can use it in Amplitube pretty nicely. So for the secret usage, my friend, you don't ever have to use Tonex again. Just host all your amps right here in Amplitube. Why are you gonna waste your time? But before I keep talking too much,
let's get a few conclusions.
Okay. I spilled the beans really quickly right there, right? Why would you want to come to conclusions if you already heard it? Well, because I'm gonna give you a little bit of perspective. Why do I think that the best way to use the models in Tonex is actually hosting them in Amplitube? Well, because I don't know about you, but every time I use a Tonex app, I feel like I'm like constrained. Like I just want to change things. I just want to do things, move things around. And the app really doesn't let you. But as soon as you put the models in Amplitube, especially the ones without a cabinet, all of a sudden, this whole universe just expands in front of you, and all the changes that you wanted to do in Tonex that you couldn't,
all of a sudden you can.
And for me, my friend, that would be the best utility. Don't ever use Tonex again. Just host all your models straight up in Amplitube and manipulate the things that you want to manipulate with actual models. If you need more gain, boost it with a pedal. If you want a nice delay, nice reverb, nice chorus, whatever it is that we have right here in Amplitube, you can use it. So again, why would you ever use the Tonex app? My friend, just use Amplitube. But again, my friend, thank you so much for being here and spending this time with me to have these findings about Amplitube and Tonex. I appreciate you so much, and if you want to recreate this template that I'm using, just click on this video right here and I'm going to be waiting for you. Alright, my friend, thank you for being here.